this is one of the top sneaky rooms for Oklahoma that we got to dive into, previewing some of the running backs going into next season, because I feel like there's a little bit more controversy there than people know, because we've got some veterans, we brought in a transfer, we got some guys that feel like they've fallen down the charts, we've got freshmen that may move up the charts. I don't know, but let's preview that and talk about it, because I think it's something that we definitely got to dive into as we continue our series on the position breakdowns. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. All right, right now in the depth chart, it feels like, as I can't get the words out, we're sitting here with we got Gavin Sawchuk, you got Jovantae Barnes, you got Kalib Hicks, you've got Sam Franklin, Emeka Megwa, right? I mean, I'm going down the line now. And Tatum joins with our boy Xavier Robinson, right? And you've got a plethora of walk-ons that are also there battling for opportunity to play. And man, that room is sick. Let's dive into that, because I'm kind of curious to see. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know your thoughts. How do you feel about the running back room? Who do you think is the 1, 2, and 3 for this team? Who do you think is the potential third down back? Who do you think is potentially the back that's there for catching purposes, right? For passing downs. Want to hear from you all on that. So before we dive into that, we've got to talk about our sponsor of this video, which is Mint Mobile. This video here is sponsored by our partners over at Mint Mobile. So I've been trying to save money here and there, just like the rest of you all. So what I did was, cut back on some eating out, not partying as much, cut back just a little bit on travel. But there are some things out there that's really hard to sacrifice. One thing that's a struggle to cut is slashing that phone bill, which feels like it's constantly going up. Well, Mint Mobile's got a solution for you. They make it really easy to switch and save. The best part about it, you're not sacrificing anything. I've tested it out, and I can tell you, you're not sacrificing a thing. What really got my attention is they offer premium internet, high-speed wireless internet at $15 a month. I can get all the high speeds that I'm looking for and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. I even brought my own phone. Can't beat that, right? If you want to check them out, check them in the description below, as well as the link across the screen, mintmobile.com/unfairsports. First and foremost, shout out to our guy, Brent Venables, head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, because he has given unprecedented access to practices, to pressers, media availability. He's been doing it up. And then shout out to all of the insiders out there, OU Insiders, Sooners Illustrated, Sooner Wire, shout out to our folks over at Sooner Scoop. They're all out there in the heat, but they're getting an opportunity to get previews just so that we can all talk about this. So a lot of this material sourced from them. Please check out all their channels. They've got videos, they've got breakdowns and stuff. So it gives you a good mix and plethora of what you think each position is going to look like. But this running back room is nice, right? So going down the line, you got Kalib Hicks, who's at 5'11", 213. Now these numbers are from June, so we're going to just leverage them. Jovantae Barnes at 6', 207. Tatum, 5'10", 205. Sam Franklin, 5'10", about 198. Xavier Robinson, 6', 222. Emeka Megwa, 6', 211. Champ McCown, 5'5", 174. Andy Bass, 5'11", 208. Gavin Sawchuk, 5'11", 200. And Gabe Sawchuk, the little brother, is 5'10", 185, who walked on as well. So, as I mentioned, you've got a lot of players that's going to be fighting for the opportunity to play, but you really got probably a nucleus of about 5 dudes that I anticipate seeing game this year, right? Of course, Gavin Sawchuk, I think he's going to be your number 1 running back. He had a really good season as it concluded, finishing with 5 straight games of 100 yards or more, which added to his 700-plus yards this season, especially when he got healthy. The big thing with a guy like him is he's got to be healthy, right? And now we're seeing the same thing with Jovantae Barnes, right? Last season, Barnes was not the healthiest guy, right? And he came back. Now, in the fall camp right now, it appears that he's healthy, right? He's done some interviews, had some conversations. Like today, actually on Monday, he talked with the media about just how his body was feeling and everything, and just how he struggled last season. And based upon the reports, it appears that he might be fighting to get back to that second spot, right? So with him, because you no longer have, Tyree Walker, Marcus Majors, they're all gone. So now you've got a Gavin Sawchuk piece, and you got potentially the Jovantae Barnes piece coming back, similar to what we had against Florida State in that bowl game, what we thought we were going to have this season, which may help DeMarco Murray in the rotations, because if you've got your guy, two guys set, you're kind of set, right? But then you start looking at some of the power, right? You've got Kalib Hicks walking in here. I mean, at 5'11", 213 pounds, that's a thick dude. Like, that's not small in any measure, way, shape, or form at all. That's a thick dude. And so if he's got the potential of being one of your power backs, man, you're going to cook. But every back we've got over is that most likely will play, it's over 200, except for maybe Sam Franklin, who's right there at 198. Then you bring in the transfer. He rushed for 1,300 yards at University of Tennessee Martin last year. 1,300 yards. So he's a 1,000-yard rusher that could easily translate here if he's putting in the work to make it happen. There's a good chance for that. But I honestly feel like him and my boy Emeka Megwa, which y'all know I'm huge on Megwa, coming in 6 foot, 211 pounds, he's been looking good with that knee. But I asked the question, how many downs are going to be able to give him? I mean, he's yoked. We know he's a yoked dude. But I don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to play. We know Andy Bass is not going to play. I don't expect to see anything from Gabe Sawchuk. And honestly, as much as I love him, I don't think Xavier Robinson will play this year, right? They'll tune him up perfectly because he's a big back that could handle all of your downs at all times, right? He's going to be built for something like that. So the ones I'm focusing on the heaviest right now, I think is going to be Kalib Hicks, Gavin Sawchuk, Jovantae Barnes, and Sam Franklin. I think that's your four mains. And if we talk about passing downs, I think you throw Taylor Tatum out there, the freshman. Now, based upon the way he's looked in videos, it appears that Tatum, he looks the part, right? And he's blown away everybody in practices so far. He's the name that I've heard the most. Like, I've heard Xavier Robinson has thinned up a lot to the point of they're like, man, he's almost ready to go ahead and play now. He's just got to get his footwork and skills going at this level. And Taylor Tatum walks in and is like, oh no, he's D1 ready, right? He's also baseball player built, right? So he has some really wide shoulders built to really swing the bat. Like, look at Kyler Murray, right? You know Kyler's kind of short, but he's a thick dude. Like, he's wide. And that's where all that power comes in his swing. Being drafted in the first round of MLB, Tatum has a similar frame, but he's also a running back, and he's fast. So imagine that size of a Kyler, just bigger, right? At more of the 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot range. That's where you got Tatum, because he's listed at 5'10". He's probably a little bit taller than that. Put cleats on him, he's probably closer to 6. But at 205 pounds, man, he's a thick dude. And he looks it, right? It looks like the summer workouts did him well. So, man, we've got a nice problem here in the running back room, because I'm ready to see Kalib Hicks. He's a redshirt freshman, so he's got time, right? It's one of those things, you've got time. He shows out, there's an injury or something, boom, you got it. But Jovantae Barnes coming back here as a junior, healthy, and looking like the dude that we had against Florida State. Then you mix in a Gavin Sawchuk, who looked good the last 5 games of the season and is healthy. DeMarco Murray's got a lot. He's cooking with grease at this point, right? He's cooking. We got exactly what we're looking for. And so, for me, depth chart-wise, I think it's going to be Gavin Sawchuk, and I think it's going to be Jovantae Barnes right behind him. I think it's going to be those two. I think you move Kalib Hicks into your power back position, and then if you decide to run 2 running back sets, which that'd be cool, because I think Latrell's done that in his past. You do 2 back sets, one of them being able to go out there and catch. I'd put either Gavin Sawchuk or Taylor Tatum out there to catch those balls in the flat or even going deep. Bet you can outrun them. I know in the video game, I had Gavin Sawchuk catching deep passes. He was getting touchdowns on a regular basis because defenses can't handle him, right? They cannot defend him at all. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know your thoughts. Now that you hear about the sizes, potentials, how you feel about this room. Who do you think is going to stand out the most? Which freshman do you think is going to get the most game? Who do you think is third down back? Who do you think is going to be your power back? Love to hear from you all. If you made this far, like the content, go ahead, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love for y'all to join this family of college football fans, talking OU football, college football, SEC football, having a blast doing it. All right. I know y'all saw we dropped and talked about the coaches poll that dropped recently. Go check that out because, whatevs. And then, of course, whatever video you want, we've got them right here. Talk soon. Peace.